Hi. In looking over your Show What You Knows, I noticed that there was a lot of questions around solving a system and equations, especially when it involved fractions. So given that we're using this time because of COVID-19 to review, I wanted to show you one more example of how we could solve this system when there's a fraction involved. So when both of our equations are in y equals form, we can figure out when they're the same just by setting this equation equal to this equation. So our setup would just look like 2/3 x plus 4 equal to x minus 1. There's lots of things that we can be doing as our next step. We could be trying to get all of our x's to one side. We could be trying to get rid of the fraction. We could try to be making zero pairs. What I'm going to show is I'm going to show how to deal with this, since that's where there was most confusion. So what we learned is that the numerator represents multiplication and the denominator represents division. So we're going to think about this as 2 times x divided by 3, and then adding on 4 equal to x minus 1. So if we don't want to deal with a fraction, then all we need to do is we need to undo division. What undoes division is multiplication. So if I multiply this by 3, then these will undo each other. But if I'm tripling this, I have to triple all of this side of the equation, which means I need to triple this side of the equation as well. I can't just triple part of it. That will create an imbalance. So I need to go ahead and multiply all of these other numbers by 3 because I multiplied this by 3. So our next line would look like, take a minute and take a guess, 2x plus 12, because we had to multiply it by the 3, would be equal to 3x minus 3. So now we have an equation with variables on both sides, and we can apply what we learned about our legal moves with LabGear in order to solve it. If I have 2x's on this side and 3x's on this side, I can subtract 2x's from both sides using the subtraction property of equality. That creates a zero pair, and I'm left with 12 equals x minus 3. From here we can stop and think, what number minus 3 is 12? I think it's 15. We can show it with algebra by adding this 3 to both sides, right? Making this a zero pair and getting x by itself, and sure enough we have 15. Then remember your next step will to actually solve for y. So if we know that x is 15, we can replace this x up here with 15, and y is going to be equal to whatever 15 minus 1 is. So y equals 15 minus 1, which is 14. So our final answer, our coordinates that will make both of these equations true, would be when x, let's undo that, when x is 15 and y is 14. Okay, good luck when you practice. I can't wait to see what you do.